What's up, everybody? Welcome to podcast now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Leon yet again in Resident Evil Requiem. We got another rumor, a couple days old, but I wanted to talk about it, as well as Leon's age, kind of almost a side topic, but follow through or watch to the end of the video, I guess, for that part of the discussion. So let's go to Dust Golem yet again, who talked a few days ago, like I said, about Leon's potential announcement next week, ? So he says, I've been hearing multiple times in the grapevine that Leon's being revealed next week. I don't know Capcom's marketing plans from direct sources, so I can't confirm, but it's loud behind the scenes right now. Think several who follow me have heard the same murmurs even by now. Now, I don't know if we're going to fully judge, like from him. I don't know if you can fully judge a reveal of Leon just because things are loud behind the scenes, but I'm not him. I don't know, what people say, to know what even loud means, right? Does that mean they're talking at a higher volume? Does that mean that they're talking more often? No. All jokes aside, look, next week has two opportunities, not just one. The question to him that he responded to when doing all this, right, was talking about Tokyo Game Show. But the thing is that PlayStation is also probably having at least a state of play on, maybe the Tuesday, Wednesday, like maybe a day or two before Tokyo Game Show. So it's not just TGS. I'm pretty sure Capcom has talked about the big three of Onimusha, Pragmata, and Resident Evil. Those three are going to go. So, you should, or you could, I guess, have something to talk about at Tokyo Game Show. The game is just, it's another couple weeks closer to releasing versus last time we saw, which was, I guess, at Gamescom, right? I mean, the thing with this period of time is that there's so many things that I guess you just keep showing it, and then after next week, any game, a lot of games, I think, will just go dark, and then the Game Awards, right, is the next chance for things to do something, whether it's a trailer or like a brand new announcement. And really, I mean, you think about them in particular, Capcom, and you think about Resident Evil. Game comes out February 27th. If you're going to do this Leon thing, which I think they're going to do, I can't imagine you let it go until the game comes out with just all of these rumors still out there. I think you're going to announce it before the game comes out. So, you are eventually going to run out of time, right? Because I guess the Game Awards would probably be the last stop, because after the Game Awards, the game would come out 2.5 months later, a little bit less. So, like, you have Tokyo Game Show, you have PlayStation. Those are kind of your two options. And Resident Evil games in general have been at State of Plays. In fact, we talked about it with Requiem in particular, because sometimes, actually half the time, in recent memory, Resident Evil games have been announced at PlayStation events. So they've already had that happen in the past. Pragmata, by the way, was announced at a PlayStation event. So they once had something. Whether or not they still have something, that remains to be seen. I think Dust Golem talked about how they kind of don't have something anymore, but whatever. You have that chance at PlayStation show, and then you have the chance at Tokyo Game Show. And by the way, for like everything I just said, I do think they're gonna do it eventually. I don't really have a timeline like on my watch. Like, I don't really care if Leon's if Leon's announced 2 weeks before, then that's also cool. If he's announced 2 months before at the Game Awards, that's cool. If he's announced next week, that's cool as well. Like, I don't even really know if I care personally if you don't announce it. I just think you won't. I want to maybe make that clear. Let me make an amend to what I said earlier. Like, I think me personally, Alex, if you don't do it, that might actually be kind of cool, right? Because you're leaving so much just speculation going into the game, and then you don't know. And man, when Leon appears or when you actually play as him, that would be like the biggest thing in the world, So I can understand like almost leaning into that, and maybe that's what they're doing right now, is leaning into that. So like, I really wouldn't be opposed. I just don't think they will do it. I feel like, because let me just quickly say this. The opposite thing is, what if it leaks, like legitimately leaks early? So what if they don't want to say anything? There's no trailer that shows him. There's no trailer where you play as him. The game comes out, or it's about to come out, but what if like 2 weeks before the game comes out, some mom and pop shop, right, gives the game out by accident to somebody on Twitter or Twitch, and they live stream it, and then you're seeing Leon Kennedy gameplay clips 2 weeks before the game comes out? Do we want that? Like, I do understand, and not because I've seen other people say it too, like, some people don't want to know. Some people don't want to know if Leon's going to be playable in the game. I get that, but would you want them to do it in like a Leon trailer? Resident Evil Requiem Leon trailer. Would you want that, or would you want some random X user or Twitch user to live stream the freaking game and oh there's Leon gameplay? Which would you prefer? And I would prefer the one where they do it officially and they kind of make it like this big party like type event thing. So that's part one. And just really quickly, just as like an add-on, like I said earlier, talking about his age. So I know this is kind of like completely, but I just had this in my mind. I want to get it out and put it in a video. I think this is a good video to do it. So I've seen people talking about like, well, he's so old and like this and that. Like I always go to specifically Yakuza, okay? And maybe Yakuza's not, I mean, it's a Japanese game. I mean, it's I think an okay like counterpart or an example, but it might not be the greatest. Yakuza takes a lot of liberties, and these people are doing some pretty wacky stuff in Yakuza. Not that fighting zombies isn't wacky, but my point being, right, I think a lot of people go to, do we really want to see like a mid-50s Leon? I think he would be maybe slightly early 50s, I think is the lore accurate age. But I mean, like, I don't really think it matters. I guess that's, the long and short of it. I think we've seen characters, and Kiryu specifically, and that's what I mentioned, on Twitter. Kiryu is 55 in Infinite Wealth, and the one that just came out, I guess, on Majima's game just came out. But they do wild stuff. The age can matter, I think, when it comes to the story and like their experience and almost like their persona, like this larger than life like feel they give off to other people. That can come off in the story, the age, right? But when it comes to like the actual gameplay and Leon like running around and kicking doors and doing roundhouses to zombies and stuff, I don't really like, I feel like there's enough liberty in video games anyway. And then definitely Japanese video games, and specifically I would again go to Yakuza. Kiryu is doing stuff when he was 30, same way as he's doing when he's 55, right? The age thing plays out in more of like the character moments, the story moments, not really like, oh, all of a sudden he can't do certain gameplay features. That's not normally how this stuff works. So just want to throw that in there. I don't really think and I mean, Chris, by the way, I think was like in his late 40s in Village, again, like canonically. So they've already played around with characters that are like quote unquote old, and all the characters would be like Ada Wong would also be like in her mid 50s or early 50s. And I'm sure, number one, she probably won't look it, and number two, I don't think she'll act it either, right? So it's like I don't really think that kind of stuff matters as much, to games like this. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.